the winter months can be a little bit of a faff. I mean, look at all the kit that you have to wear just to go out on your bike. Sometimes I actually spend longer getting dressed than actually out on my bike in the winter. But who wants to ride in this rubbish weather anyway? There is a solution to all this. It's riding indoors. Let me show you how to do it. There are so many reasons why you should ride indoors. It's time efficient. You can fit it around your daily life no matter how busy you are. And there's no traffic! It's a cozy, controlled environment. It's actually really fun. It's always good weather indoors. Now, when it comes to indoor training, there are a few bits of equipment you're gonna need. At a very basic level, you're gonna need a bike and you're gonna need a trainer. But if you've been watching GCN for some time now, you probably already own a bike. This is a smart trainer that I'm using today, and this is the Zwift Hub. And smart trainers are amazing. They have everything built into them. So it's got power, speed sensor, cadence sensor, the works. You don't need any additional gadgets. But if you are looking to do quite a bit of indoor training, take it from me, it is worth investing in a smart trainer. Here at GCN, we see so many cool pain caves where people have made them in their garages, their basements, or even in their garden sheds where they sometimes have, a full indoor permanent setup. They have a gym, sometimes even a sauna. But in reality, you do not need the whole works to be able to ride indoors. Yes, having an awesome pain cave is the dream, but in reality, when I started indoor training, I literally had to lug my indoor trainer and my bike out from underneath the stairs, set it up in the kitchen, do my workout, and then de-rig it every time. It was a little bit of a pain and a faff, but I got some really good workouts. But you don't need the whole works to be able to ride indoors. You can do it wherever you choose to do it, whether that be in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your garage, in your hallway, or even in your bathroom, if you fancy that. Now, when it comes to indoor training, there are a few bits of extra equipment you might want to invest in to make your indoor training experience a lot more pleasant. And the first one is a mat. Now, this one is going to stop your horrid sweat and your dribble from hitting that floor, and your parents and your partners are going to thank you for it because they won't have horrid floors. But it doesn't have to be an indoor training specific mat. It could be a yoga mat, any sort of mat, an old carpet or a towel even, just to protect your floors. The next bit of equipment is a fan. Now, it doesn't have to be a big fancy fan. It can be, a desk fan. Just head to your local supermarket, pick up whatever fan they have and set it up with your indoor training. And it is going to make the world of difference because indoor training, it gets very sweaty very quickly, especially if you haven't got any windows open. Because when you're riding outdoors, you've kind of got the wind in your hair and that's going to help cool you down. But indoors, you've got nothing and it gets hot. And when you do overheat on the bike, it has a big effect on your performance. So it's important to keep cool. So get yourself a cheap fan, it'll do the job. And the last bit of equipment you're going to want is a towel. Actually, 2 towels. One towel to wipe your sweat and the other one to put over your handlebars, because all that sweat from your face dripping down your arms onto your hands is going to end up in your headset and corrode it and on your handlebar tape. And trust me, I've taken my fair share of disgusting handlebar tape off my bike after a winter on the indoor trainer, and it has been horrific. There could have been things growing under that handlebar tape. So protect the handlebar tape, whack a cheap towel over it, it'll do the job. So you can have the most basic setup of a towel, your trainer and your bike in your kitchen, or you can have a garden shed that is dedicated to indoor training. But the most important thing is that you're getting on your bike and you're riding. But if a cold, gloomy garage surrounded by tools is good enough for Tour de France winner Geraint Thomas, it's good enough for you. Now, when I started indoor training around 10 years ago, I found it hard. That was okay if I had a specific session to follow and I had lots of intervals, but if I just wanted to get on and ride my bike, I would struggle. I'd probably last about 10 minutes, then I'd crack and I'd be bored out my mind. Thankfully, gone are the days where you have to stare at the blank wall and watch paint dry when you're on the indoor trainer. There's so many different ways that you can entertain yourself whilst you're training now. You could head over to GCN Plus, watch some racing or a documentary. We also have the GCN Indoor Training channel where we have hundreds of different workouts. Really easy to follow along and you don't need power or heart rate to do so. But if you want to take it a step further, you could jump on Zwift. When it comes to indoor training, Zwift is my go-to. And if you are unfamiliar with Zwift, it is an online training platform where you can ride in the virtual world with loads of other people. My favourite thing about it is the variety on there. Whether you just want to ride at one consistent pace, whether you want to push the boat out and do a race, or if you want to do a structured workout, you have everything on there. You don't have the problem of getting on your bike and trying to think of a session to do because it's all on there for you. And you're looking at your avatar, you're looking at the world you're in, and there's always people to chat with, to ride with, no matter what time of day you get on. And some of my favourite features on there as well is some of that iconic climbs that you can ride up that you'd want to do in the real world, but you can actually do them in the virtual world. For many of us, any ride is a good ride, whether that be indoors or outdoors. But if you are looking for some specific sessions to do, then here are a few we like at GCN. Now, Ollie is always on Zwift, 4 or 5 times, maybe even more a week. And he loves a good Zone 2 ride. And he uses this as kind of like a building block towards big challenges. So the Tour de Station he did recently, he did a lot of long rides on Zwift to prepare for that. But if you're someone like Si, you might want to take a little bit of a different approach. He says that there is nothing better than a good, hard 30 to 40 minutes on the indoor trainer after a long, stressful day. It's a great way to unwind, apparently. Each to their own, I much prefer a spa day. But if you're someone like Connor, quite competitive, you might love a race. And the great thing about racing on Zwift is there's so many different events to choose from. So if you're someone who likes a hilly event, you can choose that. Or if you're someone who likes a pan flat race and you're more suited towards that, you can do that too. I know Connor tends to avoid the hilly races.
That's me gone. Now.
You can even do a fitness test. They're not for the faint-hearted, but if you really want to push yourself, there's loads of different ones that you can choose from, but they're all pretty hard, trust me. So tell me this isn't better than spending half an hour getting dressed to go and ride in the rain. But let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video and what your indoor training setup looks like. Do you do it in your kitchen or have you got a full-on setup? Let me know in the comment section, and whilst you're down there, give it a big thumbs up.